Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at using the definition of midpoint to solve problems in the real world. So we're going to take a look at your assignment. What's in front of you here is actually the assignment that is attached for you to complete. I'm going to go ahead and do the first two with you so that you're clear with the directions and you understand how I set up the Word document for you to manipulate and show your work. Because I know in math it can kind of be difficult. So I tried my best to give you resources that you can use to create the picture that actually represents the problem. All right, so let's take a look at problem one. It says John and Mike live on the same main street in Pittsburgh, and they decided to meet at the store, which is exactly in the middle of their two houses. From John's house to the store, it takes 25 minutes. From Mike's house to the store, he listened to 5 songs on his iPhone, which is going to be represented as 5x. So how long is each song? So the first part, what I want you to do is label the picture below by dragging the information to the image to correctly illustrate the situation. So if you notice here, you've got your 3 letters. One of them will be in the middle, and then you've got your algebraic expressions that represent the length of segments. So if we look at the very first sentence again, it says John and Mike live on the same street in Pittsburgh and decide to meet at the store, which is exactly in the middle. So if you notice also, I highlight in bold the letters that represent the different items that we're looking to map out. So here's our road, and it says the store, which is S, is exactly in the middle of J and M, John and Mike's house, right? So you're going to take the S and drag it right above the middle point. And Mike and John, doesn't matter where you put them, they just live on the endpoints. They live on either side, equal distance from the store. From there, if we look at the next information, it says from John's house to the store, so from J to S, right? It took about 25 minutes. So here's our 25 box, and I'm going to go ahead and stick that in there. From here to here, from J to S, it's 25 minutes. And then from Mike's house to the store, so that's M to S, he listened to 5 songs on his phone, which is represented by the expression 5x. So what I'm intending for you to do is take those information boxes that I create for you on the right-hand side of the picture and drag them in so again, it correctly illustrates the situation. From there, you're going to use your algebra and your math to set up an equation and solve for x. So for this first one here, again, definition of a midpoint tells us that S, the store, is directly in the middle. So it creates 2 equal segments or 2 equal distances from the store. So we could come in here and set up that 25 is equal to 5x. Now again, using your math to solve for x, the relationship between 5 and x is multiplication. So we're going to go ahead and divide by 5 on each side so that we can clear our fraction, or I'm sorry, we can clear out the 5 with the x. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So x is equal to 5. Now, what does x stand for? This is just kind of a little informational piece that makes you look back in your problem and remember what x stands for. So if I look back up, we covered the first 2 sentences with our label. The very last question is your question statement, and it says, how long is each song? And then if you notice, there's just an x after it. So what does x represent? It represents the length of a song. From there in part C, you're going to answer the questions. And these are related to the segment lengths or the distances between John's house and the store and Mike's house, and then the distance if they would walk to each other's house. So the first question is asking you, how long did it take from John's house to the store? So whether you go back up to your narrative or you look in your picture, from J to S, from John's house to the store, is 25. So for the first one here, the information was already given to us. You just have to find it. Then how long did it take from Mike's house to the store? So from Mike's house to the store, it took 5x, right? He listened to 5 songs on his iPhone. He didn't know how long each song was, but it's 5x. So we can come here and say that the expression that was given from Mike's house to the store was 5x. Now we do know that x is equal to 5 because in part B, we were able to solve for that value given the definition of midpoint. So if x is actually 5, so we could come here and evaluate it. Instead of saying 5 times x, we now know x is 5, so 5 times 5, which equals 25. And remember, we're talking about the distance it took, or I'm sorry, the length of time it took. So how long did it take? It took him also 25 minutes. And again, remember, these two, right, should be the same. 25 minutes, 25 minutes, because we've said and we've established in part B that this side is equal to this side because of the definition of a midpoint. So I want to see your algebra here just so that you can plug it back in and evaluate it to double check yourself when you're done, just to make sure that you're getting the same answer. And then the very last question here says, how long would it take for John to walk to Mike's house? Again, this distance is 25. We just found the second distance to be equal. Again, definition of a midpoint and our algebra supports it. So 25 plus 25 would be the amount of time it takes, which is going to give you, it's going to take them 50 minutes to walk from John's house to Mike's house, or Mike's house to John's house. The direction that you would travel does not matter. So this would be your answer for this last question, how long it would take for him to walk to his house. All right, let's do one more example together just to make sure that you understand the process and how to label correctly. All right, taking a look at the second one here. It says a contractor of a house is putting nails in one of the floorboards and has divided the board into 2 equal sections. It has endpoints of A and C, and he's marked the midpoint of B. So looking at just that first information, A, C, and B are our points. It tells us B is in the middle. So again, I'm looking for you to drag the information that I provided for you over to the picture so that it accurately reflects the scenario. Then it tells us a little information about the segments and the nails. So counting the nails on board AB, so here would be board AB from here to here. He has 24 nails. So over here, we've got 24 nails. On board BC, again, we're pretending that he kind of like cut this board in half, right? So looking at board BC, he came up with the expression of 7x plus 3 to represent, oh, now I'm doing all sorts of goofy things. So hopefully this doesn't happen for you. But you're looking for when you've got the northeast, southwest symbol on it that you can drag it over. If you happen to tilt it, no big deal. But over here, he used the expression 7x plus 3 to define the number of nails. So he wants to know the value of x and how many more nails to buy. So label the picture by dragging the information below. So I just did that using my information from the problem. So we're going to set up an equation to solve for x. So again, definition of a midpoint says the left-hand side, segment AB or board AB, should be having the same amount of nails as board BC. So setting up my equation, I said both expressions equal to each other, and then you would solve. And again, guys, I know solving math online, digitally is very difficult. So do your best in showing me your work and just make sure that it's clear what your answer is. So looking at this, this is a two-step equation. We remove addition and subtraction first. So I would subtract 3 from both sides, and I get 21 is equal to 7x. Then I'm doing the division, or I'm sorry, the multiplication there. I would divide both sides. So I get 21 divided by 7 is 3. So the value of x is 3. So looking at answering my question, so how many nails are on board AB? So again, whether you look back to your picture or up in the narrative there, it tells you counting the nails on board AB, he has 24. Or again, the picture shows you that you have 24 nails. So you can simply come down and write your answer of 24 nails. Then how many nails are on board BC? Now again, you should be catching on that my answer should be 24, right? But I do want to see your math. So again, the expression that was given for board BC is 7x plus 3. And again, now we know what x is. X is 3. So you can go back in and evaluate it for when x is 3. It also just double checks that your work in your equation is correct. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 3 more gives us 24. And again, my label is important here. How many nails? 24 nails. So again, your math supports your definition of a midpoint, that both sides would have the same or equal amount of nails. And then the last question there, how many nails in total on both boards? So looking at it from A to C, again, I'd have 24 on the left, 24 on the right. So you're putting those two together. All together insinuates that you add. So putting those together, you get a total of 24, and 24 makes 48 nails. So again, guys, you are free to use this information to complete the first two examples of your homework, and give you some problem models to reference. And then for the remainder of your assignment, you do have two more on your own. The third one is about Trax Farms and putting up Christmas wreaths for the holidays. And the last one here is about two girls who are walking around selling candy in the neighborhood along a street. So good luck to you. Reach out if you need help. Hopefully this informational video kind of showed you exactly what the expectations are and how to navigate and use this document. Again, reach out if you need help via Teams or also on inbox. Either way would be fine, and good luck.